Hello, everybody. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome to Critical Beauty Salon. Today, I have a special guest. She is none other than Sheridan Mortlock, the current Miss Earth Australia 2022. So if you have any questions for Sheridan, please feel free to post your questions in the chat box below, and I'll read them to Sheridan. And I'll be more than happy to read them back. This is so exciting. So yeah. Oh, all right. I think she's in. Let's admit her. Woohoo! Hey.
Hi, how are you?
Hi. Good morning, beautiful.
Good evening for you. Good evening.
It's 8 o'clock. It's 8 o'clock Sunday night here in Boston, and it's 11 in the morning, Monday, in
That's
Sydney,
correct.
Australia.
I
Now,
can tell you the future.
oh, that's a good one. Now, how many time zones are there in Australia? Like 3, 4? We have 4 in America.
I think there's 3/4. I really should know this, but it depends also on we've got daylight savings time. So when that clocks in or clocks out, sometimes the time zone's only like an hour difference or even less than that. So like Queensland, for instance, which is right above New South Wales, like they're on the same plane, there will be a time difference there because they don't have daylight savings. So it's all a bit messy and complicated.
Okay, so what about Tasmania? Does it have its
Tasmania,
own?
I think Tasmania, I'm pretty sure it's the same time as New South Wales. Yeah.
Okay, all right, because my good friend Peter Serino lives in Tasmania, and sometimes I would invite him to my chat group and whatnot. So it's really hard to coordinate time schedule because you don't know exactly what time. And I think I really don't like the daylight savings time idea. I hate it. I totally hate it.
I like it for this one, but for when it's dark still, when you wake up, it's just like, oh my gosh, I just want to stay in bed, you know?
It's just not natural. It's unnatural. I mean, I feel sorry for the animals because animals usually they have an internal time, biological time, and when they think the sun is like it's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's already dark. So it doesn't make any sense for most of them. So abolish daylight savings time, people.
We'll start a movement.
Well, not all countries observe the daylight savings time.
No, that makes it more confusing as well because it's like, okay, yeah. Which countries? Yeah.
And also, I think there's some parts in India where rather than, it's 11 o'clock in Sydney, it's like 6:30 in the morning in India. So half an hour, an hour and a half difference. So that is weird. Okay. That's not normal, people. So I'm so happy and ecstatic to finally meet you because I've been following you on your social media, Instagram, Facebook, and whatnot. And I am quite familiar with your pageant journey. And well, first question, are you excited about Miss Earth 2022?
Oh, I'm beyond excited. I cannot wait. I feel like I've been dreaming of this moment for so long, and I feel like I've just meant to be in the Philippines for like 3 years now, and I keep hearing all these wonderful things about it. And so I am just so excited. Like I can't even think once it gets closer to the day, I know I'm not going to be sleeping because I just want to be there.
So have you been to the Philippines?
I have not. The only countries I've been to is Japan and New Zealand.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's interesting because I had the impression that you're well traveled.
No, I mean, a lot of Australians are. A lot of us like to, roam across the globe and, explore other countries, but I just haven't gotten there yet. I'm planning to do that next year, all things considered.
Okay, so how many towns or cities have you visited in Australia?
Oh, many, many, many. My family and I actually traveled around Australia when I was 10 years old in a camper trailer. So we lived out of a tent, and my two younger brothers and I were homeschooled. And so we did that for about 14 months. So we got pretty much everywhere in Australia except for Western Australia, because it was getting close to me starting high school and I didn't want to be the new kid. So I'm like, can we please go back now so I can start high school with everybody else?
That's that's funny. Well, as you know, of course, if you're a geography connoisseur, Australia is both a country and a continent and an island.
Absolutely. Home is girt by sea. It's in our national anthem.
Exactly. And it has one of the world's diverse flora and fauna. And there are like how many states? There are like six states, six or
So
seven.
there's states and territories. So there's Western Australia, Northern Territory, Southern Australia, Queensland, New South Wales, ACT, Victoria, and Tasmania.
Do you know all the capitals of each state and territory? No, I'm
There's
just kidding.
Perth, Darwin, Adelaide.
All right, start showing off.
The geography quiz now.
Yeah. So, of course, I know a little about you, but to those people who are not familiar with you or have met you for the first time, please tell us a little about yourself, your family, your background, and all that lovely stuff.
Absolutely. So my name is Sheridan Mortlock. I'm 22 years old. I'm a Taurus. My
You're a bull.
my family, exactly. Very persistent. I've got so my mum and dad, and I've got two younger brothers and a dog and a cat. And we grew up in Melbourne until I was 8 or 9, and then we traveled around Australia for 14 months, and then we relocated to Jerilderie, which is a very, very small country town in the southern part of New South Wales. That's where my mum grew up. There's like 900 people there, and so that's where I did my high school. And then after that, I moved to Wollongong, which is a coastal town about 2 hours south of Sydney, where I started to pursue a double degree of global sustainability and politics. And then just recently, I've moved to Sydney, and I've put my degree on hold to pursue this pageant. So I've still got 2 years of full-time study left. And so now I'm Miss South Australia, and I'll be representing the country in the Philippines in November.
Well, you're a pageant veteran. You've competed in Miss Earth Australia twice, both in 2019 and 2020, where you placed second in both years. So you almost won the first and the second time. And then lo and behold, 2022, you finally placed first.
Third time's the charm.
Yes. You know, there's one word that I think is trending all over social media is hashtag redirected. I don't know if you're familiar with that. Like, for example, but ends up not winning it, rather than feeling sad and disappointed, it's better to just think, oh, you're being redirected to a different route.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
maybe this is not your year yet. You can come back and compete the next year, so forth and so on. I mean, you know, there's so many cases of pageant girls who have attempted to win like 5, 6, 7 times, and they win for the last time, where they're almost aged out. And you know, that's the moment. That is your moment. You know, it's destiny that you win at age 28. So,
yes.
But do you consider yourself a crown chaser?
I consider myself, well, for the Miss Earth pageant. So 2019, that was the first time I joined Miss Earth, and the first time I did any like big international type of pageant. And I sort of just joined on a whim. It was my first year of uni. I'm like, you know what? Let's do something to get out of my comfort zone. Let's just Google all the pageants and just apply for all of them. And Miss Earth got back to me first. And so I was a late entrant, had about 1 week to prepare. And then I came runner up. And I'm like, oh, maybe this is something that I can pursue. Maybe this is something that I'm good at. And I'm very glad I wasn't crowned then, because I was not prepared. I remember holding hands with Susanna Downs, who was the winner for that year, being like, oh my God, please don't pick me. Please don't pick me. Because I had exams the next week. I couldn't go to the Philippines. I'm just like, oh my God, what happens if I win? I'm going to be like so stressed. So definitely the redirection happened there.
Yeah.
And so then in 2020, it was just the runner-ups that competed. So it was just me, Brittany, and Karen. And then I think definitely the universe was like, it's Brittany's time. Because for those of you who don't know Brittany Dixon, she has competed at Miss Earth Australia for so many years, and she's such a deserving and beautiful queen. So I'm very, very happy that she won that year. Again, the redirection. And then I skipped 2021 because it was lockdown and I was not in Wollongong. I was in Wagga Wagga with my boyfriend's parents. And I'm like, I don't have my team with me. This isn't how I envisioned like the crowning would go or how I wanted my year to be. So I'm going to sit this one out and then join next year. And here I am.
Yeah, I think it's so important to be able to actually, first of all, assess your situation, and then take it from there, and then you make a master plan of where you want your life and destiny to be. So basically, we're all designers of our own destiny, of our own fate. So that's good. I'm glad that you're taking charge, Miss Earth Australia.
Thank you.
No, of course, I just feel that Australians in general are very, very friendly and warm, and amazing people. Why do I say that? Because I know a few of them. Now, give 3 adjectives that your friends would describe you.
I think they'd probably describe me as an organizer. Whenever we were in high school, I would always be the one organizing events and following up on people who have RSVP'd. Another one I think is goofy. I can be quite goofy with my friends when I'm around them. I always like to make people laugh and feel good. So I go out of my way to, make people feel comfortable, because there's nothing, more memorable than having a great time. And then passionate. I think passionate would be the last one. I'm very passionate about what I stand for and what I believe in, which is, my passion has led me to the Miss Earth Australia organisation. And I feel like that passion's just pushing through and continuing with me for this pageant.
I think those are 3 amazing qualities for Miss Earth title
Thank you.
holder. Organizer, of course. I think you value time. You're never late, right? You always show up on time.
Absolutely.
That's
yes.
part of time management and time organization. So if you're a beauty queen, especially if you're holding a major title, you have to be well organized and you know how to manage your time. Goofy, hello. We all love beauty queens who are funny, who have a sense of humor. Because one thing I hate is that beauty queens who think that they're always serious, or they always want to present a very professional, serious side. Girl, stop, okay? It's okay to just chill out, relax, have fun, make jokes about pollution and environmental, disasters and whatnot. Yeah, we can make fun of all those
exactly.
problems.
You can't be serious all the time. You've got to let off some steam every now and then.
And of course, passion. You have a passion for Mother Earth, and of course, that's the main goal why you joined Miss Earth system. So that's great. Now, here's an interesting question, Sheridan. So, if a potential employer looked into your social media account, what would they find out about you?
Ooh, an employer. I think that they would find out that I am very passionate about the environment, especially fast fashion. I post a lot about that because that's sort of been a passion of mine since the beginning of high school, really. I think that they would find that I am educated. I like to post a lot of educational content on there as well to try and, just keep everybody informed, just digestible sort of tidbits of information that I think aren't as well known. So we all know, don't use plastic straws, but what about the more deeper things or the more controversial things that we should be looking at as well?
Uh-huh. That's great. You know what? Yeah, I was looking at your social media. Actually, I'm looking at it now. You have a lot of very diverse images. You don't only post professional, but also a lot of personal, but also images that are relevant to your cause. Which is great. So yeah. So if I were your potential employer, and I would look at your social media account, I'd say, okay, well, I like this girl. Let's set up an interview with her. It's great.
That's good. That's the goal.
Now, I have a serious question. If global warming is such a great threat to life on Earth, why haven't all the nations put an immediate stop to the cause and become fully devoted to reversing it? I mean, assuming, we are more than capable of doing so.
I believe that we are definitely more than capable of doing so, or at least making a good enough dent to try and hold off any future problems that will occur if we don't. The reason that I think a lot of international countries have not taken a big standpoint on this is that collaborating and communicating with anyone is difficult, let alone world leaders, where there's different values, there's different cultures, there's different languages, there's different things that they might find more important at the moment. Mm-hmm. But I think that what we really need to tackle climate change and this issue is that communication and collaboration. We really need countries to be held accountable, and not in just a equal viewpoint, but an equitable one, because it's not fair to put the same responsibility on countries that are just starting to get out of poverty or they're very developing countries compared to those such as America, Canada, Australia. They can do more, and so they're also usually the bigger perpetrators of climate change. So they should also hold more responsibility and they've got the facilities to do more. So I think if we can somehow get everyone to just work together, I know it's a big ask, but that's honestly going to be the best solution to tackling this climate crisis.
Right. Yeah, I totally agree. But of course, to a lot of skeptics, they feel that it's not really real, or it's not never going to happen, like what you imply, So, but you know what? We can only do so much to better the world. It's one planet. We all have to work together to protect it and to save it, for the future generations. Good answer, Miss Earth Australia.
Thank you.
Reading some of the comments in the chat room. Okay, well, everybody's saying hello. Hi, Sheridan. Question from Little Penny. She's asking, how do you feel that you are always in the top 4 predictions with Colombia, Nigeria, and the Philippines?
Honestly, it's such an honor. Like, I try not to get too involved with watching other candidates and seeing what they're doing, and I try to just got my horse blinders on, and just sticking with myself. Right. But I can't wait to meet them when I'm in the Philippines. Like, once we're all in person, gonna be the best of friends. But I'm very, very proud, and it makes me feel good that Australia is, creeping up there. Might bring home Australia's first Miss Earth crown. That would be such an honor. So I'm just going to keep fighting, keep doing what I'm doing, and hopefully by the end sneak up to that first placement.
All right. Another question from Little Penny. Oh, okay. This is interesting. Which look are you targeting for in Miss Earth 2022? Jennifer Hawkins or Taylor Swift? Oh, yeah. Erica says she looks like Taylor Swift with an Aussie accent.
And the Australia and the Taylor Swift down under.
There you go.
For my look, I think I'm going to try and go for Sheridan Mortlock, but I definitely do look. People ask me, like, do you get tired of people saying that you look like Taylor Swift? And honestly, no. She's my favorite music artist. So look, if more people bring attention to it, maybe she'll reach out to me one day and we can, have a little conversation. That would be my dream.
Yeah, you do. I see a little resemblance between you and Taylor. I mean, I love Taylor Swift, but she became famous because, after writing songs about the men that she dumped. So
don't want to go there with me. I could talk for hours on Taylor Swift.
You know what I mean, girl?
Derail the conversation.
Taylor Swift thinks that men are disposable, okay?
No, not at all. Oh my gosh, you've got it all wrong. She's actually written more songs not about breakups than about breakups. It's just those are her popular ones.
Yeah, right. That's great. Now, here's an interesting question. Some people think that the Earth is flat. Convince them that they're crazy.
I feel like flat earthers there's only so much that you can say to try and convince someone. Even other conspiracy theories as well, like people are usually very steadfast on their beliefs with this, and it's very, very difficult to change their mind. And oftentimes you won't. So I probably wouldn't even try to convince them that they're anything. I think a lot of people that do believe these theories usually are doing it because they're in denial about what's happening in the real world. And this seems like a better alternative somehow, because the thought of the actual world and reality being however it is that they're viewing it is just too much to bear, that instead they'll jump to this other conspiracy theory to feel a little bit better and feel maybe like more control, or just feel like, the world's not as awful as they seem. So honestly, I would just hear them out. I would hear their side. I'd try to, explain the other side as well, and then just hope that they use their critical thinking to bring it all together.
That's a great attitude, because I actually have a friend. She is very, religious, and she believes in everything that the Bible says. And I think she thinks that there's some verses in the Bible that says that the earth is flat, it's not round. It's okay. Well, I tried to rationalize with her, but at the same time, I try not to offend her feelings, her beliefs, because those are her beliefs. And I wouldn't want anybody to mock my, let's say, my veganism, because I've been vegan for so long, and I don't want anybody making fun of me and my vegan stuff. So so it basically boils down to respecting other people's differences and other people's opinions and stuff and everything. So
absolutely. As long as what people are believing in isn't being pushed on or hurting other people, I think that, it's harmless. It's okay.
But wouldn't it be funny though? Let's say if your roommate at Miss Earth happens to be a believer of the flat Earth movement, and can you imagine her like talking in her sleep? The Earth is flat. The Earth is flat.
I'd just be like, okay, girl, let me just put my earphones on, try to get some sleep. I'll leave you to your devices. Yeah.
There you go. Another question from Little Penny. Oh, how do you feel that so many Filipino Australians are supporting you in Australia to hopefully win Miss Earth 2022?
Honestly, I love all support. I know that the Filipino community in Australia is very big, and I've been involved with a lot of them for 3 years now. And so to be able to see people still supporting me after all this time is just amazing. I know how much Filipinos love pageants. Like when I first joined in 2019, I had no idea how big they were. Like they're not big in Australia at all. The only one that people sort of know is the Universe one. But so, any support and all support is most welcome. And thank you, everybody.
Well, hopefully when you win Miss Earth 2022, maybe the pageant industry in Australia will totally change.
I'm hoping so. It would be amazing if I could bring some attention to the great things that pageants are doing, because Australia is a very sport-orientated country, but they don't count pageantry as a sport. It's sort of like that's still a thing, Every time I say I'm in a pageant, they're like, oh, you mean like Miss Congeniality? And I'm like, sort of. Less explosion of crowns.
Yeah, there we go. Exactly. Another serious question. Do you think overpopulation of humans is an impediment to the protecting and saving the environment?
I think that overpopulation definitely does play a role. Obviously, if there were less people, it would be easier, I guess, to, mitigate climate issues. But overpopulation isn't necessarily my biggest concern when it comes to climate change. I'd say that fossil fuels are definitely a big one, and CO2 in the atmosphere, that's the main cause behind it. However, with overpopulation, I believe that, it's shown time and time again that if you go to places such as maybe like third world countries, if you start educating people, and especially if women get education, there's actually less births, and the success rate of the births are actually much higher. So I believe if we can spread education out to a lot more countries that are willing to take on, then we would not only see a rise in the lesser number of poverty, but would also see a decline in potential overpopulation problems.
Mm-hmm. Good answer. I like that. I was thinking, are there people out there who are willing to volunteer for celibacy forever, like permanent celibacy? You wonder, maybe that's one good thing to control human population. Okay, me. I want to be celibate the rest of my life.
I mean, I definitely think there are people out there. I'd say definitely the rise of acceptance as well with the, LGBTQIA community is amazing because, if there's gay marriage allowed and gay couples, they're not going to have children. They may adopt children, which is a great thing to do because, if there's already people that need a loving home and a family, then hopefully more people will be open to that.
Yes, I totally agree. Here's a good question from Erica. If you have the time and money to embark in a wonderful adventure, where will you go? And who are you going to take with you?
Assuming I can't go to all the countries in the world, because I would just do a global trip. Like, I love visiting new places, new cultures, new food. I love tasting new food. I would probably go back to Japan just because I've been in love with the Japanese culture since I was in primary school. I studied Japanese in high school as well. And when I went with my dad in 2017 for 2 weeks, but it wasn't enough. So I need to go back there, and I would probably take my boyfriend.
There we go. I mean, oh, has he been to Japan before?
He has not.
Yes. Oh, he hasn't. Okay, so it's going to be his first time. That's great. That's wonderful. Let's talk about rainwater. Do you think it's healthy enough to drink rainwater? I wonder about myself too. I'm actually drinking rainwater.
Oh my gosh, me too. Stay hydrated.
Yes, exactly.
Rainwater, I don't think, depending on where you live, it's not inherently a great idea to just drink it straight up because there could be pollution in the air. If it's come into contact with any like feces or heavy metals, then it won't really be safe for human consumption. However, if it's done through a filtration system, or for example, when I lived in Jerilderie, we lived on a farm, we had water tanks. So that was our source of water. If there was no rain for a while and we used it all, we had to call the council to bring out more water for us because we weren't connected to any pipes, right? Mm-hmm. But that goes through a filtration system. So rainwater, I think, is a great and definitely an environmentally sustainable way of drinking water. Just make sure it's filtered the right way first.
That's good. Well, you know what? If if you're really thirsty, you really don't care anymore because
just open your mouth and let the rain
in. It's just like I know of. Well, in really the most miserable, most unfortunate cases, when people are like like refugees, they lack all the basic necessities, and sometimes when they're stranded in a very isolated area, they don't have any clean water to drink. They end up drinking their own urine just to survive. And it's a very common occurrence happening all over the world. So yeah, we need definitely more potable drinking clean water for everybody. And why do we have to pay for water? Water should be free, right? I just don't get it. Why do we have to pay? Why do we have to pay for clean air? Why do we have to pay for water? It's all part of Mother Earth. We should be able to share
the Lorax
with each
vibes.
Exactly. Now, here's a fun question. Sheridan, how many pairs of shoes do you own? Be honest.
I think I own about 16 pairs of shoes, but I think only about,
Oh my
I do not
God.
have a lot of shoes. I actually need to buy some more shoes before I go overseas because I don't have enough heels. Like, I'm such a bad shoe shopper because I try to be very sustainable when I shop, but shoes I think are the hardest thing to find secondhand, good quality heels that are my size. Hardest thing to find at a secondhand store. So I always have to buy them new. And so if I do buy something new, I always think about it a long time before I buy it. Okay, is this something that I love? Will I wear it at least 100 times? Will it last at least 5 years? So I procrastinate a lot when it comes to shoe shopping.
Yes. What do you prefer? Flat sneakers or high heels?
For day to day, Sneakers,
every day.
100%. Like I live in a very hilly area too. If I tried to get to work in heels, I would fall on my face. It's like steep like this, like no way. Lower back problems would be real. But going on a night out or going to a pageant, nothing can compare to like slipping on a pair of heels, feeling super sexy, super powerful. I love that feeling.
Oh, you know what? I have an idea. Maybe you can, design it. What about a shoes or a shoes that transforms into high heels at night, but flat shoes at daytime?
I've actually seen on TikTok that someone has done that where you can like take the heel off the shoe and then it's flats.
Oh my, really? Oh my
Yeah.
God.
And you can even
Okay.
like interchange the heels for like a block heel or like a different color or something. So
That's
it's
amazing.
insane.
Well, maybe you should find yourself a pair of shoes like that. You can wear it every day, Miss Earth. So you can
Just
only
one
bring
pair
like,
of shoes.
instead of
That's all I
16
need.
pairs, you only have like 5 pairs. Yeah, so you like travel light, people, travel light. Okay. Now, what one habit do you have that you would like to break? Sheridan, we all have habits. Okay, I know I have. Uh, what are yours, or what's yours that you like to break?
Ever since I was in primary school, I've always bitten the side of my fingernails. And it's something so bad. I remember seeing like a kid do it once. I think I was like 7 or 6. And I'm like, why is he biting his nails? And so I gave it a go. And then it's just like been a bad habit that stuck with me ever since. So, I try to like get my nails done so that when I see them, I'm like, okay, don't bite the sides. But when I'm like bored or like in my mind, I just like get in them.
I think biting your fingernails is a lot of people would think it's a sign of anxiety, maybe, or
Could be.
nervousness. Yeah. Or you just know,
They're gonna
or you just,
diagnose me.
or maybe you lack protein, so you're finding your protein by chewing your nails. You know what I mean?
I need to start
Like
carrying like
dogs, like
chicken tenders with me.
yeah, like for example, like dogs and cats, they eat grass, and I've always wondered, why do they eat grass? For what reason? It's a
Like
mystery. It's one of those mysterious problems. So anyway.
just to help. I think if they feel sick, they eat grass because it makes them throw up, right?
Well, my dog always throws up every time after she eats grass and stuff and everything. I mean, she can't help it. I think she's addicted to it. Sheridan, we all have guilty pleasures. What is your guilty pleasure?
Oh, either consuming an exorbitant amount of
Chocolate?
pavlova in one sitting, or definitely binge watching TikToks. I could lose easily a whole day just scrolling. I had
God.
to put a timer on my phone for the TikTok app because otherwise the whole day is just gone. You look up, it's like, oh, the sun's already set.
Oh my God. Yeah. TikTok could be very addicting. Very,
Yeah.
very. So people are watching out there TikTok. And also TikTok is a Chinese spyware. Beware. A lot of people don't know that. Now, name 3 things that you would never ever do.
I would never smoke. I feel like, you grow up watching all of those ads about how it's bad for you. And I just wouldn't be able to do it without the end of those ads and how bad it is and just bad idea. So I'd never do that. I'd never say no to something that I haven't tried before. So I'm all for, trying things once, especially food. If I go to a different culture, I want to try their local dishes. I want to try that good home cooked comfort food from, all different countries and new experiences as well. I haven't been bungee jumping yet. I haven't done, lots of crazy things. So I always say yes to that. And
Okay.
I would never, what do I never do? I think I'd never judge someone that is making moves or is caring about the environment for using a single-use plastic. I know that there's often a lot of like all or nothing mentality when it comes to, oh, you call yourself an environmentalist, but I saw you using a plastic straw. And it's like, it's very, very hard to avoid, as long as the rest of their lifestyle, I think, is promoting promoting helping to save Mother Earth from climate change, or they're doing other things that sort of like outweigh it, then I think that there's no need to judge. That would just cause people to try less, because they're like, oh, well, I guess if I can't be a perfect environmentalist, I won't be an environmentalist at all. And it's like, no. We just need like a lot of imperfect environmentalists rather than a handful of perfect ones. So never judge someone for that.
That is so true. It's the same thing, because I remember the first time that I became a vegan, I was very judgmental of other people's dietary habits, and I refused to socialize with people who still ate meat. But then I realized, what, every person journey is different, so they may not be vegan nowadays, but who knows, maybe in a few years. So I've learned the best way for me is to show by example. That's it. That's all
Absolutely.
You can do.
Yes.
That's all you can do. Okay, here's a fun question. Would you ever go out with a guy prettier than you?
Well, the guy I'm going out with right now is pretty handsome. But look,
wait, is he on your social media? Does he have a picture?
I think so. I think it might be. Yeah, he actually is. We attended Miss Grand Australia together. So if you scroll down a bit, he'll be there.
What's his name?
Brendan.
Brandon. Okay, I'll take a look later.
Cool. Scrutinize it.
Well, I hope he's coming with you to the Philippines, right?
He is.
To lend some support.
Absolutely. He's so looking forward to it. I remember we only just started dating when the 2020 Miss Earth pageant happened, and Miss Earth Australia, and he was just thrown into this pageant world, and he's like, what is happening? What is this? Because he came with me to one of my interviews with all other girls, but he's just been super, super supportive, and he's like my number one, like, I've got your back. What do you need me to do? Let's do this together. So it's been great.
That's amazing. That's great. Well, Brandon, if you're watching this show, hi, nice to meet you. Now, okay, here's a good question. What is your take on people who smoke indoors?
I don't know about other countries, but in Australia, vaping has really taken a rise. It's got a lot of popularity right now, especially amongst younger people, which I find a bit disheartening, because vaping is about the same as smoking a cigarette, like is just as detrimental to your health. And after seeing all the ads that we had growing up, and all the the warnings, and it's very strange to see that vaping has taken a rise again. But I still think that it shouldn't be done indoors. When smoking used to be legal in Australia inside, sometimes you can see in old pubs still the roof is like black from all the tar. So I hope that doesn't start again.
Yeah. Well, I cannot think of any benefit to smoking. I really can't. It's addicting. That's one thing. And it's just not good for you, period. So,
no.
I know there's some people who have a hard time, quitting smoke. But, you're responsible for your own actions, basically, And I mean, again, going back to the idea of, whether or not you should be judging people for their habits and whatnot, all they can do is inform them about the health hazards, and it's up to them to decide whether or not they want to continue smoking or not, so.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, here's another question. Who would you most like to sit next to on a 10-hour flight, and why? Besides your boyfriend.
If I could pick anybody in the world, Taylor Swift.
Anybody in the world. Anybody.
Absolutely Taylor Swift. I feel like I have a lot of things that I want to know. She's got a lot of conspiracy theories around her music videos and Easter eggs. She loves putting little clues in literally everything she does. Everything is so far planned in advance. It's insane. So I would just want to pick her brains about all those things and which ones are correct and which ones are false.
Okay. Oh, that should be fun. Yeah, for 10 hours. Oh my God. Wow.
Well, it's
Oh, amazing. And now, okay, here's a good question. When was the last time you bought something from a yard sale or a secondhand store?
the last thing I purchased at a secondhand store was a blue dress. And I got it just before the Miss Earth Australia competition because I'm just like, let's just quickly see if any of the op shops or opportunity shops, they are secondhand stores in Australia, if they got anything nice. It's always good to have a bit of a peruse around and see. And I found this blue dress and I'm like, perfect. So I purchased it.
Are you going to take it with you to the Philippines? I hope.
Absolutely.
Right, that's great. Here's an interesting question. Sheridan, if you became the Prime Minister of Australia someday, what would be the first thing you would do in office?
Definitely stronger environmental protection laws and a more ambitious carbon emission target or like renewable energy target. Right now, we've got, I think it's 45% renewables by 2050. I think it should be at about 80 at least. So that will be my first call to action. And also hand in hand with that is upgrading our public transportation. She's good, but she could be much better. We get really bad traffic jams in the city. And I think if we had smoother public transport, it, diminish a lot of cars on the road, which is great for the environment. And it would just make it a more walkable, livable city.
Mm-hmm. Good one. Now, of course, in some parts of the world, they decided to legalize marijuana. What are your thoughts on the legalization of marijuana?
I think that it's a great idea. I think that it's really important that, when you legalize something, you create safe spaces for it as well. So just like how if you want to consume alcohol, you usually go to a pub or somewhere else, other venues where you consume alcohol. There's people looking out for you, making sure you don't do anything stupid. Just like with legalizing marijuana or any other sort of hard drug, I think that it'd be great to not have it be like so hush hush under the table, because that's when bad things can happen, when it's not regulated, because people can put whatever they like into this concoction of drugs. But also marijuana has a lot of health benefits, especially for people with chronic pain. There's been proven time and time again that hemp especially has great healing benefits. And so there's been this whole stigma around marijuana saying, oh, it's devil's lettuce, blah, blah, blah. But that's all just from campaigning way back in the early days. Hemp is actually such a beautiful and sustainable, it's an incredibly sustainable plant. And so I think if we can popularize it more and make it legal, decriminalize it, then we could be well on our way to doing something great.
Have you tried marijuana yourself?
I have not.
Not even marijuana lace cookies?
I have not, no.
I think there's some wonderful recipes online. Just Google them. Good, delicious marijuana lace cookies. I'm just kidding.
Thank you for the recommendation.
Now, here's a good question. If you woke up tomorrow and gained any one ability or quality, what would you want it to be and why?
Can it be like a superpower?
Okay, it could be superpower.
I would love the ability to refill things. So for example, my water bottle, it's half empty. It had water in it before. Tap, the water's full. If I just finished a bag of chips, the chips are full. If I need to fill up my car, just touch it, the car is full again, like you would just need like one container of your most common food items that you eat in the house, and you can just keep filling it up. Like that would save so much time and money.
Well, I think witches do that, right?
Oh.
Like hocus pocus. Change You're bewitched. Oh, that's funny. But that is a one good ability I would like to have as well, because we're too lazy to fill like the gas tank with gas or water jug with water. Yeah, so that's a good one.
Maybe even the bank account, if the bank account's running empty.
Oh my God, yes.
Top it up.
Definitely. Now, if you had a daughter someday,
Yes.
would you encourage her to compete in pageants?
If she wanted to, I'd definitely be very supportive, but I wouldn't be like, oh, you should do it because I did it, sort of thing. But if she's like, Mom, I want to be like you, like I want to try pageants, I'd be like, absolutely, let's do it. I'll be here for you. But if she chooses something else as well, I'll be just as supportive. Like my mum, she's a builder, so she's a carpenter. So when I started joining pageants, she's like, what is this world? Like, it's like completely different. But she's still very, very supportive of me. And so I would be the same to my daughter.
Great, good one. I'm sure you're going to be a wonderful, amazing mother.
Oh, thank you.
And who knows? Might bring Australia's fifth Miss Earth crown. You never know.
That sounds good to me. A legacy.
Legacy. Reading more comments from our viewers. Joe says, "What a stunning beauty Sheridan is. Best of luck to her." Let me see. Oh, there's a question from Erica. Actor Jason Momoa.
Yes,
he shaved his. Yeah, he played. What did he play?
Aquaman?
Oh, he played Aquaman. He played Aquaman. Yes, and he was married to Lisa Bonet, I think, for a while. Yeah. So, but he's a hunk. Anyway, Jason Momoa shaved his long locks to raise awareness of the harm caused by single-use plastics. Are you willing to cut your locks for the same cause if asked by this hunky actor? That's a good question, Erica. I love that.
Look, if we like teamed up and we were able to, raise a lot of money that way and raise a lot of awareness, I would absolutely do that. If I try to do that now, I feel like there's other ways that I could do it that would be more impactful. But look, if Jason asked me, like, hit me up, we could, be a tag team next year.
There you go. So Jason Momoa, if you're watching this, please hook up with Sheridan, and you two should, get together and, cut off your locks, for a good cause.
Do a little bob.
There you go. Yeah, and I think short hair is back, actually. So that's good. So here's a good question. Some contestants are traveling with more than 5 suitcases. How many suitcases will you bring with you?
I don't know yet. I have still organizing my wardrobe, getting all the pieces together, because obviously I'm trying to be as sustainable as possible. So I'm contacting like dress hire places and trying to find pieces at secondhand stores, which can be very time consuming. That's the only thing. If somebody can create like an app that's got all secondhand stores from op shops and the proceeds are going straight back to the charities that the op shops support, I think that'll be #1 best-selling app. But look, hopefully I'll have all my wardrobe finished by the end of this week or next week, and then I'll be able to tell you how many suitcases.
Well, earlier, we talked about organization. Are you going to create like what they call a look book? Like
Absolutely.
what you want to look like a certain day, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4.
I'm going to separate them all into bags with the jewelry, the shoes, because I don't want to wake up, because like I hear, you like go to bed at like midnight, you wake up at 4 a.m. I don't want to be thinking about what I'm going to be wearing that day. I just want to be like, all right, tomorrow I'm wearing the blue outfit, and I know everything that goes with the blue outfit. I just wake up, put it on, haven't had my coffee yet. It's okay. She's organized. She planned ahead.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And also take a selfie or have somebody take a picture of each look, and then and then print that photo, whatever, save it in your iPhone, so you'll have a good reference. So that's great. Yes. So important. People out there, look book is so important. Okay. Now, what is your take on the no makeup segment of Miss Earth? Do you think it's a good idea?
I think that's a very interesting segment. I like that it sets itself apart from the other pageants because no other pageant really does that. I think that, look, Miss Earth, it's all about environment and natural and sustainable. And so I think that it's really great to show off the natural beauty of girls, you know, like even if the no makeup segment was like, okay, you can wear like a base foundation and mascara, I still think that it gets the point across where it's showing your natural beauty without like heavy contouring or heavy eye makeup that can change the shape of your face and the shape of your lips, your eyebrows, etc. Just seeing that real natural aura sort of shine through, I think it's a great idea. I like it. It's one of my favorite segments.
Yeah, I think a lot of the first time that they imposed this no makeup segment, my first impression was I was really horrified. I mean, if I were a contestant, I would never leave my room without makeup on. Seriously, because I might scare a lot of people without makeup on, you know. So, but I think in a way it's a good segment because it really allows the people who are judging you to know you with your naked face and not so much so with a lot of distractions on your eyes, on your lips, on your face, on your hair and everything. So, you know, that's good. So that's good. But you know what? I'm sure you're probably much prettier without makeup anyway, right?
Look, two sides of the same coin.
There you go. There you go. Now, oh, it's a good question. Which competitors do you look forward to meeting the most?
I actually don't know. I'm looking forward to meeting all of them. Like I said before, I'm sort of not keeping track of other competitors at the moment and not seeing what they're doing. You know, gotta stick with what you're doing, know that what you're doing is what you can do at the moment. Obviously you see more competitors posts than others just because people are like sharing them more and things like that. So I see like Miss Cuba come up a lot, Miss Philippines. But I'm super happy to just meet everybody. That's one of my favorite parts that I'm most looking forward to, being able to do the international competition in the Philippines, is meeting all the girls.
That's wonderful. Are you guys, don't you girls have like a WhatsApp group, like a chat group?
I
Pageants
think
they
that
do
there
have.
is going to be
Yes.
one, or there already is, but
Okay.
I don't think I haven't joined it yet. So
Yeah.
eventually when I do, be great. But it'll be so hard with like 120 or I don't know how many there are, 80, 90, how many candidates all in one group. I
Almost
much prefer
90.
talking like one-on-one, you know, that's when I feel like the connections are really made.
Exactly. Good. Okay. Last question. Sheridan,
Yes.
why do you want to be Miss Earth 2022?
The question of all questions. When I joined Miss Earth in 2019, it was purely just, let's stop fast fashion. And I was very passionate about the environment. I just started my degree with global sustainability. I was like, let's change the world. Woo, woo, woo. Now, after a couple more years, it's now 4 years into my degree. I think that as a society, we have moved past the need for us to continue to be reminded to not use single plastics, to recycle, to compost. That's all pretty, I feel like, common knowledge now. I feel like we're ready for the next step. I feel like we're ready to look deeper into, okay, what are the biggest contributors to climate change? How can we go about fixing it? And how can we do it together? And the thing with it, like what we referenced at the beginning of this video as well, is it's an international effort. So if you're able to be crowned Miss Earth International, you've sort of got that already, those connections with other countries that you wouldn't really have as just being your own country's crowned winner. International, you can really bring people together, hear perspectives from all over the world, and hopefully create like harmony and influence in that way. And so that's what I would really be focusing on if I was crowned, mainly educating people. I'd love to do lots of videos with people all over the world and how climate change affects them compared to other people, and also really great initiatives that are happening internationally, because I feel like we often hear the doom and gloom, but we don't really hear a lot of the good things that are happening as well. And that's super important, because if we're only hearing the bad stuff, it makes us pretty demotivated. But if we're seeing people doing good, we're like, yes, okay, let's support them. Let's keep going. We can do this. Let's tackle climate change together.
Uh, some Somebody's saying, you know what? Climate change. I think Miss Venezuela is bringing 18 suitcases with her.
Whoa.
Maybe
You know
it's
what?
a joke. It's a joke, probably.
Yeah. And look, as long as you're offsetting your carbon
Yes,
emissions, right?
exactly. And girls are going to be flying what? Taking the plane. And planes,
Yes.
they do waste a lot of gas and fuel, right?
Yes.
So that's another something
There's a
that
lot
people
of
think.
like
Yeah, there's a lot of
positives, negatives, but then
negative.
again, you
Yeah,
got to look at the big picture. It's like
exactly.
we do that once every year. Other people are jet setting around every day. So
Yeah, like Leonardo DiCaprio, and who else? George Clooney, and
Kylie Jenner.
yes, all these people who are supposedly, for Mother Earth, saving Mother Earth and stuff, but they too have their private jets, so they fly everywhere. Good. Enough of these stupid, silly questions, Sheridan. Now let's play
We're
some
not silly.
games. Let's play some games. I like games. I like games. Game number one. You know this game. This or that. I'm going to mention two things, and you tell me quickly what you prefer. All right? Almond milk or soy milk?
I'm an oat milk girl, but if I had to pick between the two, soy.
Soy. Okay. Satin bed sheet or silk bed sheet?
Silk bed sheet, more sustainable.
I agree. Squirrel or chipmunk?
Squirrel? We don't have either of those.
Oh, you don't have squirrels or chipmunks in Australia?
uh, we definitely don't have chipmunks. I think we might have some breed of squirrel, but we've got the possum.
Oh yeah, opossums are wonderful
Yeah.
creatures. Yeah, opossums are amazing creatures, by the way. Yeah, tarantula or scorpion?
Or scorpion. I hate spiders so much. I can't it's really bad living in Australia because there's usually at least one spider in your house at all times. But snakes, I'm okay with. Crocodiles, I'm okay with. Sharks, spiders, nah. I'm in the next room.
Okay, that's funny. Mopping the floor or vacuuming?
Vacuuming, don't have to wait for it to dry.
There you go. iPhone or Samsung?
Well, I've got a Samsung, so I'm gonna have to say Samsung.
Well, I have an iPhone, okay, and
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I'm thinking of switching. I'm thinking of switching to Samsung.
Ah, there
Yes,
we
so
go.
we'll see. We'll see. But I like my iPhone so far, so we'll see. Canine companion or human companion?
Think human. You just can't have those deep conversations with a canine. They don't really say much back to you.
Yeah, but dogs shower you with unconditional love.
True, but if you've got the right human companion, they should do the same.
Maybe a half dog, half human as that. Good compromise. That'd be funny. Game number two. What kind of environmentalist are you? First question. Which of these vacations are you most likely to take? A volunteer trip to clean up a third world country, or B, an adventure to a tropical, eco-friendly hotel?
Ooh. Okay, if I was going somewhere because I had to rejuvenate myself, I was just drained, no energy, zero social battery, go to the eco-friendly hotel. But I would never say no to a trip to a third world country to help clean up. I've been wanting to do that actually for a very long time. So that would just be an amazing opportunity as well. If I could do both at the same time, have my cake and eat it too.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, kill two birds with one stone. It's great.
Exactly.
Question number two. Are you mindful of your food choices on the environment? A, no, I eat what appeals to me, or B, somewhat, I try to eat locally and sometimes organic.
I would say B for sure. Definitely try to eat locally and organic. The good thing about living in Australia, there's so many farmers markets, especially on the weekends. There's one just up the street from me as well. So it's always great to go down and just, you can like taste the difference when it's locally grown, I think.
Good. Question three. Do you recycle? A, yes, and I encourage everyone around me to do so. Or B, sometimes if I think about it.
Look, honestly, a little bit of both, depending.
Okay.
The recycling system in Australia is actually very backlogged at the moment. So a lot of what Australians do recycle actually doesn't end up in the recycling anyway. But when I can, for sure, I always recycle.
Okay, well, I appreciate your honesty. That's good because I think a lot of us also share that attitude. That's good. Fourth question, what type of community service project most appeals to you? A, volunteer at daycare, B, beach cleanup, or C, volunteering at a forest preservation site?
Ooh, I'm stuck between the beach and the forest. I'm going to say beach cleanup one weekend, forest cleanup the next weekend.
Okay, well, you can balance
Forest
it out.
preservation, sorry.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. But you know what? I think there's find more trash on the beach because
Oh,
I think
absolutely.
yeah because of the natural elements like the
Yeah.
wind and the waves. You know they trash all the trash
Yeah.
on the shores and stuff. So yeah, that's
There's
good.
something so like
Question
I
number five. How much?
volunteer. Sorry.
That's fine. Go ahead.
I volunteer at the local park, and we preserve it there where we take out like the weeds that sort of they overtake the natural fauna and flora there, and they can actually end up causing more harm. So we spend, a good couple of hours every Friday morning just taking those weeds out to ensure that the rest of the park is in good nature. So that's also super important element as well.
Exactly. Good. Next question. How much trash do you dispose of per week? A, one bag, or B, two bags or more?
I think I want to say one bag. I live by myself, so I don't produce a lot of trash as just one individual, but it really does depend on the week. Like some weeks I produce maybe like half a bag, if that. Other times it might be like one, two, or three bags. Depends if I've gone grocery shopping, depends if I've gotten anything in the mail. Like I try my best to minimize my waste though.
Good. Last question. How much of the food you eat is processed, packaged, and not locally grown? A, all. B, about one half. C, none.
I'd say about one half. It's very difficult to completely eliminate all of the packaged food from the diet. Things such as strawberries, they always come in containers. I've tried finding it without containers, but it's a bit difficult. But truthfully, half. It would be great to have zero, but that's not where I am at the
Exactly.
moment.
Okay. Yeah. I think it's important to stress that being an environmentalist activist is not a question of being perfect. It's a question of doing your best to educate the public and also help Mother Earth survive. So yeah, there's no such thing as perfection. I mean, you can only do so much. So hopefully the
Absolutely.
rest of the world will share example. So that's good. All right, third game, Sheridan. Would you rather? Now this is fun. First one, Sheridan. Would you rather the aliens that make first contact be robotic or organic?
uh, I'm going to say organic. I feel like
Organic,
robotic would scare me.
like zombies and stuff and everything.
Yeah.
Would you rather be in jail for a year or lose a life off your life or lose
I
a
think
year off your life?
think lose a year off my life. I feel like you can have some traumatic experiences in jail, and I feel like losing a year of your life would be less impactful.
Okay. Would you rather be married to a 10 with a bad personality or a 6 with an amazing personality?
Definitely a 6 with an amazing personality.
How look wise, how would you rate Brandon from 1 to 10?
Oh, a 20.
Ooh, okay. All right, girl. Okay, that's good. Would you rather be able to talk to land animals, animals that fly, or animals that live underwater?
I think animals that fly, because if you need to know like something happening over the other side of the city, for instance, you could just be like, hey, my parrot friends, can you please tell me if this restaurant is open or if there's traffic on the highway? Thank you.
Oh, I like that. Oh, that's a good one. Good one. Would you rather spend the rest of your life with a sailboat as your home or an RV as your home? RV is a recreational vehicle.
I think definitely an RV. I've sort of already done it for a year of my life, and I could definitely do it again. The ocean sort of scares me. So
Really?
yeah, I love swimming in the ocean. I love being at the beach, but going on like boats deep into the ocean, it's not my favorite thing to do. Like I don't want to go in a submarine and I don't want to go to space. The thought of not being able to breathe is terrifying to me.
Well, would you go to Mars? Because they
No.
say Mars is just like Earth. No.
I don't even want to go to the moon. Like, I'll believe you that it's pretty and the stars are amazing. I don't need to see it myself. That's all good. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Would you rather be the first person to explore a planet or be the inventor of a drug that cures a deadly disease?
Definitely the drug that cures a deadly disease.
Okay. I think, yeah, me too. I think most of the world would choose the second one too. Sheridan, would you rather be able to control animals with your mind or control electronics with your mind?
I think electronics, to be able to turn on the kettle while you're still in bed would be amazing.
Good one. Last one. Would you rather be forced to dance every time you hear music or be forced to sing along to any song you hear?
The dancing one. The dancing one's easy. You could just do like a little shuffle. It doesn't have to be too obvious. Singing is very obvious, and dancing's just more fun.
Are you a good dancer?
Uh, I like dancing. I'll say that.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? I think if you want, because like every year, like Miss Earth has this grand dance number, and they usually put the best dancers on the in front of the stage. So if you really want to be in front, go practice your dancing. Really,
With
choreography.
choreographed dancing, I
Mhm.
love. But if I try to dance something by myself, it's pretty subpar. But like I can do the Macarena, I can do the Nut Bush. She's good.
What about the Gangnam Style?
Oh yeah, when that was big.
Yeah, funny. Great one. Last game, Sheridan. Give me a wrong answer. Okay, this is a fun game because you don't know, you never know, you don't know exactly what to respond. So that's funny. First question, Sheridan. Give me a wrong answer. Why do fools fall in love?
Why do fools fall in love?
Wrong answer, please.
Because they're just so happy that they've got. Oh wait, wrong answer. Why do fools fall in love? Because um, because they eat a lot of jelly beans.
There you go. That's a perfect, good, wrong answer right there. Woohoo! Good one. Love it.
I win.
Next question. Next question. Wrong answer. To get from Australia to the South Pole.
How do you get there? You teleport.
Yes. Teleport. Yeah, but it hasn't been invented yet. But it's the wrong answer anyway.
That's okay. Yeah. Just
Wrong
close your
answer.
eyes.
Wrong answer. That's
Wish
good.
to teleport. Yeah.
Teleport. Bing. Next one. Oh, here's a good one. Wrong answer. Sheridan, how do you make a Vegemite sandwich?
Well, first you get a penguin, and then you have to pat its head 3 times until it turns into sprinkles, and then you put it in a bowl.
Ooh, that sounds evil, but I love it. Next one, Sheridan. When are you getting married?
Yesterday.
Show me the ring, honey. Show me the ring. Oh my God. That is one huge ring. Oh my God. That's the biggest diamond ring I've ever seen. Oh my God.
Can I say?
That must cost Brandon millions and millions of dollars. Oh my God.
Yes.
Oh.
We're in poverty now. We're in debt.
Funny. Next one. Tell me, Sheridan, why do cats and dogs fight?
Because long ago, when they were first put onto the earth, the cat stole the dog's bed, and the dog tried to forgive the cat, but the cat wanted to start a fight. So then the cat knocked it in its snout, and ever since then, they've been fighting.
That is so wrong. Very wrong. I love it. I love it. Disclaimer. Sheridan and I both love cats and dogs, okay?
Absolutely. I love them. All animals.
We love all fauna, except spiders. See, this is what I mean. You know, we can never be perfect. You know, even though we're promoting animal welfare, there's certain species on Earth that we just don't like. Okay, so deal with it.
I recognize their importance in the ecosystem, but just don't come in my house, please and thank you.
Question: how do you make someone fall in love with you, Sheridan?
You read a book about how to run a jumping castle business. And then after you've finished reading that book, you have to skydive out of a plane onto a jumping castle, and that will bounce you to your lover's house. And that's how you'll meet. And it'll just be true love, soulmates.
Well, is that how Brandon fell in love with you?
Yeah, he just landed at my door one day, and I'm like, he's the one.
Oh my God, that is so wrong. Hilariously so wrong. Love it. Next one. Tell me, Sheridan, when will the world end?
The world will end in 2040 because of a big ice cream incident where they accidentally made way too much ice cream, and then because of global warming it all melted and everything got really sticky, and then it was just really gross and everybody couldn't stand it anymore, so the world just imploded on itself.
Oh my God, a horrible image. It's just it's very apocalyptic
Ice cream, man. No one saw it coming.
Way. Oh wow. All right, I'm gonna mark in my calendar. According to Sheridan, 2040 is the year when the world will end. All right, good one.
They'll make a movie of it like 2012.
Starring Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm just kidding. Last question. Wrong answer. Sheridan, tell me, who will win Miss Earth 2022?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Good one. Wrong answer. Oh my God, that is so funny.
That was fun. I like that game.
Yes, yeah. I think it's the best game ever. Listen, I had a nice time chatting with you. I know it's almost lunchtime, I believe, in Sydney, in Australia, and I'm sure you're
ready to eat some food.
Starving to death, and I'm ready to drink a glass of wine after this. Now, how are you doing with your evening gown and your wardrobe? Are they ready?
Evening gown is pretty much on its way to being ready. I've got good feelings about it. It's a gown that I've envisioned for a long time. Wardrobe is halfway done. I just need for it to arrive and for me to do a lookbook. Feeling pretty on top of things at the moment. Like I said, like to be organized. But, you know, there's still quite a while to go. Still some loose ends to tie up, but hopefully that'll all be sorted by the end of this week.
That's wonderful. What about your national costume? Can you give us
an idea or hint about your costume? Ooh. Well, because we're not having to...
theme?
The theme? Eco-friendly.
Okay. Well, that's kind of generic, but I think everything else is eco-friendly. Are they going to be straw like plastics and stuff?
Not quite, not quite. It will be something pretty, and look, I don't want to give too much away, but I'm excited.
All right, that's fine. That's fine. Now, before I let you go, is there a message that you would like to transmit to your fans and to your followers all over the world?
Absolutely. Thank you, first of all, everybody, for tuning in today to watch this interview. And thank you very much for your questions and your comments. And big thank you to all of my supporters and my fans who are following my journey, who are showing me all this love and support. It really means the world to me. And I can't wait to make you all proud at the Miss Earth International competition.
Woohoo! Woohoo! So I think this year's competition is the first time in 3 years that it's going to be in person, correct?
Yes.
But I think it's hybrid because the first part is all virtual. So that should be really fun. That should be really exciting. So I'm really looking forward to that. And then the girls, I believe, start arriving in the Philippines during the second week of November, maybe?
Yeah, I think it's the 12th or 11th of November that you have to be there. I think I'm going to go over a little bit earlier.
Okay.
And then the coronation is the 29th. I think it's a Tuesday from memory.
Yes, November 29th, and it's going to be held at the Okada Manila, Cove Manila Okada in the Philippines. And I think that was the same venue where the pageant was held back in 2019. It's a beautiful, humongous, gorgeous venue. And I like that venue because they use natural light. The roof, it's just all glass. And you see—
so beautiful.
Yeah. So good job, Miss Earth, for choosing the Okada Manila again, this year. That's great. Listen, thank you so much for granting me this opportunity to interview you.
I wish
you the best of luck. And Critical Beauty Salon viewers, thank you for watching the show. And please follow Sheridan in her journey to Miss Earth. You can follow her on her Instagram account, which is Sheridan Mortlock Official. And also Miss Earth Australia, I believe. Yes?
Yes.
And I'm going to put both media accounts in the description box below so you guys can follow her. And you're also on Facebook, I believe, right?
Look, I do. I don't really post there a lot. Okay. The Facebook on my phone app is very clunky and a bit difficult sometimes. So the most updates you'll find is definitely my Instagram.
Okay. All right. And yes, please follow Sharon on Instagram and please show your support. And I have a feeling that you will be up there. I really do. And I think Australia has been doing a great job. Yeah, I think Australia almost always places every Miss Earth pageant, I believe. Yeah, you have a great organization. And you have a wonderful network of support. So that's great. That's wonderful. So listen, I'm going to send you the biggest hugs and the biggest virtual kisses.
Thank you.
And once I upload this video, I'm going to upload it to my YouTube channel and tag you so you can share it with your followers. Okay. So have a wonderful, wonderful Monday. And may the rest of your day be
Enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening. Enjoy your glass of wine.
Have some Vegemite sandwich, please. Made a penguin. That's great.
Thank you so much.
I shall see you, and hopefully this is not the last time we're going to talk to each other. I'm sure we'll talk more in the future someday.
After I win.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, Sheridan. Bye, people.